Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back here to the Light of the Nations, to this Shabbat, for this amazing Torah portion and this beautiful virtual gathering we're having every week and every Shabbat. And today we are starting with a new book, the book of
Devarim. Devarim, according to the right
really?
pronunciation, yes.
I didn't know that. You know, I learned something new today. Devarim.
Yeah.
Okay, and what does it mean?
Words.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. Basically, it's a summary of everything we have been reading in Torah. And it's a summary, and that's the important point, it's a summary given to a specific generation. And somehow it's connected to us, if we can say so. So I really hope that you are having a great Shabbat so far. Really hope that you have been having a great rest after the working week. That sometimes is not easy, it's difficult, but we have Shabbat. And we have Shabbat from Allah, that He is sustaining us, and He's giving us peace, and He's giving us joy. I can tell you that my heart, and I guess your heart as well, is I think is 100 times bigger than usual. And this is because Abba is giving us His peace, His joy, and we know that He is with us, with His presence is with us. And if He's with us, He's also with you.
Thank you for being here, for all the moderators, Camila, Karen, Shirion, and every one single of you, because we feel that we are a family, even though that we are far away, but in the spirit and the ruach of our Elohim, we are Echad. So thank you very much.
That's true. That's true. And to begin with,
I said Karen,
yes, I think so.
Okay. My memory is not so good.
Yeah, to begin with, is just to put some request. I put it in the chat. Is for our sister Yaya. I need you to send us an email, please. If you can do it today, I need you to send us an email to light2everynation@gmail.com. We need to contact you. So please, if you can reach out by email, we will be very blessed. So that's one thing. The second thing, before I forget, I need to say I have a prayer request. Actually, I have the 3 prayer requests. And so I need to say it now. If not, later I'm going to forget. So the first one, to keep praying for my eye. I'm still seeing with my right eye, the blurry. I know what it is. It's, it happened to me back in 2019. And it's happening to me. I know what is triggering it. Last time I just was waiting for YaHuWaH to heal me, and He did it. And I have no doubt that He's going to do it again. It's just a matter of time. But please keep praying for me, because it's a kind of weird when I'm seeing, I was telling Lillian that I'm seeing her more slim.
That's good for me.
Yes. So, because yes, with this right eye and seeing things a little bit distorted things. So that's the first prayer request I have. So keep that in your prayers, please. The second one is a very important one, and is related to the trip we are going to do next week, because we're traveling on Wednesday and we're going to spend in the States almost 2 weeks. And Shirion already know about that, and they are praying with us about this. There is an important activity at my work on the weekend of the 5th and 6th of August. And it's a very critical one, and most probably will require a few more days in the following week to have some focus on that. So I don't want to have any interruption from my worldly work while I'm serving and working for Allah. So what's my prayer, and I will ask you to pray for that as well, is that Abba, that He's in control of everything, to move and delay in 1 week
later
this activity for the week of the 12th and 13th of August.
So when we are finished.
When we're finished and we're back here on home. So if you can join us and praying for that, please do, because we know that YaHuWaH is the one moving mountains. and it's up to us only to believe and to have emunah, to have faith. So, and if we pray, more people praying, it's much easier that Allah is going to hear us. So I'm gonna ask you to join us in that request. So delaying this activity in 1 week from the 5th of August to the 12th of August. And the third request is not for me. And my dear sister, I hope you are not gonna feel offended by what I'm gonna do, but I am feeling that I have to do it. I'm going to ask you to pray for Annie, our dear Wisor hire, because I know that she's going through some difficulties. And she's a beautiful sister she's a beautiful sister as all of you. And most probably she's not going to mention it, but I'm saying it. So I'm going to ask you to pray for her, to have endurance, to have strength from YaHuWaH, to go through the difficulties and the trials. And because we know that when we go through trials and difficulties, at the end, there is a reward. There is something beautiful that Allah is preparing for her and is preparing for us. So please keep Annie in your prayers. Annie, we love you, and we are your family. All of us here are your family, and we are sending you a big hug, and our ruach is with you. And the most important thing is that YaHuWaH is with you. Okay? So those are the 3 prayer requests. So Karen, since you have been taking notes in the previous one as a beautiful moderator, if you can keep notes of the 3 ones, so we can put it later in the comments. What else? You have something to say?
About what maybe Annie is going right now. And it's the same, it has been happening to me, and I know to all these sisters and brothers that we are following this beautiful path, that we are facing even more trials than before. And I think somebody told me this time ago, and it was that the enemy knows that you are precious. The enemy knows how valuable are you for Abba. So he's going to try with all his effort to take you down. So when you feel that, is that we have to pray even more, and we have to focus and to maybe to how Shaul was saying. It's kind of funny, because I know when we are dealing with those situations, it's difficult to think about that. But we need to find a way to remember that we have to enjoy even the trials, because we know that, like you said, the reward is going to be even more
absolutely
important for us, because we know that everything that we are going to gain in this life with effort is a really treasure for us. And sorry, because my thoughts and everything, I'm with this disconnected cables.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're a little bit weak today. You know, we have been fasting. So, again, I can tell you it's been a beautiful week for the 2 of us. And, you know, something happened when we fast. And when we fast often. Is that I can tell you, in the previous fast that I invited you to join us, it was very tough. It was, since the second day, I was feeling awful, horrible. It's like, like a vacuum.
Yeah,
sucking
something
us
was
from the outside
like
inside. And it was difficult to go through. But this time, we are like, how to say it? I don't know.
We don't feel the same.
We don't feel it,
symptoms.
Just today we are feeling a little bit. And we have been fasting almost the entire week. And this is so important that for us to realize about these things, that, when we get into the rhythm of YaHuWaH, He is the one that is somehow preparing our bodies to live according to His will and to do these type of things. And what we have been talking almost the entire week about this is that it was amazing. We were not able to feel anything. You know, we were so strength, with so much energy, without feeling any difficulty, any weakness. It's only today that we started to feel a little bit
and I think
weak.
because it's like the arriving to the end.
Correct.
At the end is always when you have to put even more effort. Yeah.
And but I can tell you, you know, when we fast, you can feel a strength that is you cannot explain. It's something that is coming from inside out. And this is YaHuWaH, the one doing it. So I will encourage you to try to start the fasting often. You don't need to do long fast. You can fast just for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3 days. You need to get just your body used to it. And I will help you with that. If you are not able to fast from food, because I know that some brothers or sisters are with difficulties with that, you know, pray about it. You can. The most important is the condition of the heart. What you are seeking Allah, you're seeking His face, and resigning somehow, quitting some day-to-day activities from the world. I think that's something that in case you cannot fast from food, you can try to do this thing and telling Allah why, and He will listen to you and He will do it.
And you know why? Also, something that is really beautiful. It's mentioned in the scripture. I don't remember which book it was. It says that it's a fast of the 4th month, of the 5th month, 9, and I don't remember the other one. And if we remember what happened according to the calendar in the previous period, long ago, it was the time when the temple was destroyed. And I think maybe that's why we are having a lot of trials too. And I think that's why fasting is to be closer and having the protection of Abba. And I remember Barry the other day mentioned something about and I found it beautiful.
The city of refuge,
the
right?
City of refuge is when we are close to Abba, when we are in the spirit. So I feel that's so beautiful. And I know that maybe we're suffering because a lot of things that is happening now here from the point of view, from the human point of view, the worldly, because maybe we have been separated from somebody, from somebody that we love, but we have the expectation that we are going to meet them, that we are going to be with them, and that is going to be something that is going to wash away or take away every single tear. Everything that we are suffering here is going to be rewarded. And Abba knows what we want most. So I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely. So if you see me, you know, I can tell you, I have to apologize in case something happened, because you know, I've been so sensitive and emotional. So if you see me crying or keeping silence for so long, because you know, He has been touching my heart in such a way like never before. So just telling you and warning you in advance. So don't be concerned. Is because if something happened to me and you see me cry or closing my eyes, it's because He is the one touching me. Okay, what else? And we are not starting with the study yet, but thank you so much for your comments in the last video. It was so beautiful to see your reaction, and so it was so beautiful to see your comments. I told you last Shabbat that you know, Allah has put in my heart for so long to start preparing this type of messages. That and I told you, I think last week, that I was going to use a different language, a different words. Because the intention of those videos is to serve as a tool to reach out people. Is to serve as a tool to connect people to the truth of Allah.
Yeah, from the point that they are seeing, and
absolutely,
and from that ground, because they are seeing and they are hearing a lot of stuff. So we have to get that and take it and give them a different perspective.
So, today what's happening, and we have been talking about this, what's happening in the world is that the people is rejecting the scriptures. They are rejecting the word of YaHuWaH because they have a preconceived idea of what Christianity or what the Bible is about. They don't know the truth. So the intention of this video and the upcoming ones, that it will take me a while, so you need to be patient, because first Ava needs to download to me the information and the script that I said last week, and I have everything here in my mind and in my heart. I know what I have to do, but I need to work in the details of this, and then work in the producing the content. The intention of that is exactly on the same direction: is to reach out people, is to serve YaHuWaH by tilling the ground. We were talking about that in the past. Serving YaHuWaH, it means to till the ground, to sow the seed. This is what we are being called to do. And these videos is exactly for that purpose. I don't know how many people will reach out. I don't care about that. It's only in the will of Abba what's going to be the result of this. What we need to care about, and that's what we care about, is that we are being obedient to what He's put in our heart, and we are doing it. So,
and if it's only one, it's going to be beautiful.
Exactly.
Because that's the purpose. Only even one.
So please use those tools, because I did it not because only for me. I did it because I want you to be servants. YaHuWaH called you to be servants. So if you reach out to a person that doesn't know that much about the scriptures, and even if they know something about the scriptures, share with them this video, because it's a beautiful starting point in order to start discovering the narrow path and to start walking on it. Actually, I was taking a look on the comments because I saw a comment from Katerina that somehow she summarized in a beautiful way what was in my heart, the intention that the YaHuWaH put in my heart, and I want to read it to you. She said the following about the video: "What a wonderful message. I pray this gains enough traction," and listen to this because this is the important part, "so that others will see it and take the first step." And this is exactly what was the intention that Abba put in my heart, is this video is the first step to look for themselves what the truth is, and not be controlled and deceived by what the world tells them to believe. So this is the first installment of 5.1. You didn't know about the titles I told you the other day, and you told me that
they were good.
Yeah, they were good. So the next one, is advancing a little bit on the truth, but the first thing to do is just to direct the people's attention to the scriptures, why they need to read them.
So don't be afraid about the titles, because maybe you're going to say, what you're talking about? Yeah, it has a purpose.
That's an important point.
Yeah.
The titles are going to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
The messages somehow are going to be a little bit tricky as well.
But
you know what's the intention that Abba put in my heart, and what Abba is doing, with these videos and with this message. Okay? So, having said that, I think that's it. So we can finish now.
Yeah.
Yes? So Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah,
No?
Shabbat
No, just kidding. So let's go and let's start with the portion after almost 30 minutes. And I have a song prepared for you here. And I have another prayer request. The fourth one. As I said, we are traveling on Wednesday, and we're going to spend in the States, coming back on August 10th. Pray for that trip to be a blessing. We are so excited to go again. We have been praying and fasting for this trip. Abba has put an important message in my heart that I have been working so hard.
That I don't know.
She doesn't know, and I told her that she needs to wait until we are there. And still work in progress, but I already have everything in me. It's just a matter to work, and I have been working, and I have been able to find beautiful things. So pray for Abba for protection for us, to guide us in every place we will go, to be with us, and His presence be with us. That we will have a beautiful experience meeting some of you. I have to tell this is that we would love to go everywhere and to meet
to have
all of you.
The complete year.
And not only going to the States, going to any place that you are. Believe me, that's what is in our heart. But the situation today doesn't allow us to do so. So please pray for have this blessing through the people that we are going to be able to meet. And I'm gonna share the message later on, part of the message, because most probably I'm not gonna be able to share everything. But the most important part I will share it. I see some comments. We are not doing questions. We are not gonna do big gatherings. Last times we tried to do a big gathering, and it didn't work out. That wasn't the will of Abba. What we are doing is meeting the families in different places. We're going to start with in Orlando, then we're going to Nashville. We're going to spend time in Kansas and Wichita. That we got an invitation as well, and we are adding 3 places more. Abba has been doing a wonderful work in preparation for this trip. With his hands preparing everything in an amazing way. So we are going to visit Minnesota as well. And we are going to Atlanta as well. And we are seeing what is the will of Abba, that if we are going to be able to visit Dallas at least for a day. So that's those are the cities we are going to be visiting. It's going to be 2 very intensive weeks. But we are strong, very prepared. That's why we have been fasting, and He has shown us that we are strong. And so keep us in your prayers. And about strength, something that I have to tell you, because I came to my mind before and I forgot to say it. It's just sharing my experience. When you fast, and when you fast often, sometimes you don't need to sleep that much.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it happened to you, don't be concerned. I can tell you that after the 3rd day of fasting or 4th day of fasting, when you are the fasting, usually, I started to sleep 4 hours first. Yesterday I woke up at 3:30 a.m. Almost 3:33.
Yeah.
And with my eyes open to the ceiling.
Today was the same.
And I didn't sleep after that. I stood awake until 11 at night.
Yeah.
And then I woke up today again at 3:30 again. And without feeling any, without being sleepy, with a lot of energy and so on. So I'm just sharing the experience. If you start fasting, you will experience the same kind of thing. So don't be afraid. It's YaHuWaH working in you. And sometimes when you are waking up that early in the morning, during the night, is because the Ruach is waking you up, and you need to get up and go to pray.
Go to pray. Is He waiting for us?
Yes. Yeah. So, too much news? Let's move on.
Yeah.
We have a song, as I said, so let me share it with you. So here we go.
המים, שרוף את ליבנו עם להבות חיים, לנוכחותך אנחנו כל כך זקוקים, בגבורתך הצלח עלינו. קח את חיינו, את נפשנו, ואת שמך חתום על ליבנו, להתעוררות אנחנו כאן בוכים, הטבל אותנו באש ובמים, תבוא מלכותך, יעשה רצונך, וכאן על פני הארץ כפי שבשמיים, תבוא מלכותך, יעשה רצונך, כאן על פני הארץ כפי שבשמיים. חיינו, את נפשנו, ואת שמך חתום על ליבנו, להתעוררות אנחנו כאן בוכים, הטבל אותנו באש ובמים, יעשה רצונך, כאן על פני הארץ כפי שבשמיים, תבוא מלכותך, יעשה רצונך, כאן על פני הארץ כפי שבשמיים.
You know, this type of music and songs and the lyrics is lifting our hearts so much. You know, we were singing together before the starting and singing out loud, and playing my guitar. And you know what, we feel is so strong. And it is, you know, every time that we praise and worship YaHuWaH, and when we do it with the right rhythm, with the right music, with the right heart, He fall upon us. And
Yeah.
I'm so sure, I have no doubt in my heart that he's preparing us for something huge soon. So you need to prepare your hearts. We need to prepare our hearts because he wants to do something important with all of us. I'm getting emotional again. So let's pray. YaHuWaH Sebaot, we come before you, YaHuWaH, with all our hearts. We come before you with the desire of our hearts to seek your face. And we want to tell you that we love you with all our hearts. That it's only in you that we find the fullness of life. That you are our reason to live. We want to give thanks to you with our voices. We want to give thanks to you because of everything you do for us. Because you are the one that gathering us into your people. Because you are the one choosing us to be part of your people Israel. Because you, YaHuWaH, have made a way for us to come back to you. You have made a way, O YaHuWaH, for us to be your servants. Because you are the one that had light that fire within us in order to serve you with all the strength of our being. Because you are the one blessing us with your presence. Because you are the one blessing us with your truth. Because you are the one blessing us with the true way. And the true way is your son, Yahushua HaMashiach. We want to ask you for forgiveness because we fail every day. Because sometimes we are disobedient. And we want to ask you for forgiveness, and not only for us, also for the sin of our forefathers. That you can destroy any shame, any trap that somehow is blocking the flow and flowing of your presence. And that you can cleanse us out because you have made a way through your son Yahushua HaMashiach in order to be redeemed by you. This generation needs you. We need you, We need your presence, and we need you for your guidance. But there's something in our heart that is telling us that you are with us because we can feel you, because we know that you are beside us. We love you, and we want to do your will. Guide us today, Make us a way for us to go through the trials and testing that we know the only purpose is to get more strong to do your will. Give us of your Ruach, because we need your Ruach HaKodesh in these times. and give us of your wisdom now in order to learn more of your truth, in order to be prepared to till the ground and to prepare the soil for the soon returning of our Melech, our King, who is coming to restore all things and to establish your kingdom here on earth. Thank you, Abba, for being with us and for your mighty presence among us. We love you, Abba, and we pray to you in the mighty name of our Melech, our King, YaHuWaH HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Oof.
Mhm.
I told you. I told you. But when he's coming to us,
Mm.
we cannot put any obstacle for the flowing of his Ruach and his presence. Okay? So it's something that you need to internalize. Because sometimes we ourselves, we put some walls that doesn't allow the Ruach to fill us and to flow through us. So we ourselves, the one putting those walls, are the ones that we need to remove them in order to let the Ruach flow through us. I have been learning this by my own experience, in different experiences. So I'm telling you because I know that it's like that. Sometimes because we are somehow embarrassed of what the people is going to say, we are blocking, we are containing and put some contention on the flowing of the Ruach HaKodesh. We need to learn that if the Ruach wants to do something through us, we need to deny ourselves in every aspect. We need to let the Ruach work through us. That's the way that we are going to do the service for YaHuWaH, the service that He has called all of us to do. Okay, let's move on. If not, I'm going to continue crying. Let's go to the Parsha in 60 seconds.
Shalom and welcome to Parsha in 60 seconds. Today's portion is from Deuteronomy 1:1-3:22. It is called Devarim. We have now concluded the book of Numbers and we must venture into Deuteronomy. 40 years have passed since the Exodus and Moses is giving a big speech. Moses appoints a hierarchy leadership system. The Israelites plan on taking the land and send 12 spies. They find giant fruit and giant warriors. The Israelites hide in their tents out of fear. God throws down on the Israelites and now nobody except Caleb and Joshua will possess the land. Wandering begins and ends when the sinful generation dies. The Israelites met plenty of people along the way. God tells them not to provoke these people or take their land, with exception to Sihon, the Amorite, king of Heshbon. While passing through Heshbon peacefully, God hardened Sihon's heart and he attacked and failed. King Og heard the news and came to fight in Bashan and failed. Og was so big that his bedstead was 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. The land is then given to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. These tribes were commanded to continue fighting until all the kingdoms west of the Jordan were taken down by God. And that is Devarim in 60 seconds.
Okay. You know, we are laughing because we have been talking about elephants because of that dream she had some weeks ago. And then now we just saw an elephant here that I told her, an elephant.
Yeah, but it was in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and I realized the other day that somehow it's related to my eye.
Yeah.
So, I forgot to do something important and I have to do it. So sorry for this, that we're jumping from one place to the other, but we're just flowing.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a beautiful gift and we want to show you that now we have a more Kodesh place here in this small office. We are the broadcasting. It's not a big one. It's very, very close, small. And we want to show you the gift we got and why we are saying that is this place more Kodesh. So let me show you the picture. Here we go. So you see over here
Yeah.
is we got this how you say it in English? I don't know.
No sé.
No sabes. Yo tampoco. But you see, we have
Yeah.
this beautiful gift. You know, the color is so beautiful, and somehow it's representing
Yeah.
the blue that is that we are commanded by YaHuWaH.
Yeah, maybe
For the
you
tzitzit.
cannot see that blue because it's today is very dark day. We
Yeah.
have rain and everything.
And with the amazing name, the Shem
Yeah.
of YaHuWaH,
Yeah.
Tsevaot.
Mm.
So and the
Banner.
as the banners.
Banner.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Emissary. Yeah, I totally forgot this banner.
Karen, yeah.
And the whiteboard, don't ask me about that. This is where I have notes written for so long,
Yeah.
and I have a pending study, and everything is written over there.
But maybe now that you see the name, it's going to push you to work
No,
on
because
those.
I have other priorities. I have other studies that I said I have to produce 5 videos, and those are more important. But this one should
Yeah.
come in any moment. It's the last time. It's about
Yeah.
who is the whore of Babylon.
Mm.
So thank you for
Yeah.
the gift. You know, we're not gonna disclose who sent it to us,
Yeah,
but
but
they
we
know that
really
we are
appreciate
very appreciated of
Mm.
what for their heart
Mm.
and for everything they have been doing for us.
Mm.
So having said that, okay, now we have to go to the study. Let me put the scriptures here in the screen, and we will go to the book of Devarim. We have to tell you that we just read the portion, but we have prepared anything.
Yeah.
So we have prepared nothing, actually, not anything.
Mm. Yeah.
And so we will flow. We will see what the Ruach is going to do. So let me go to the chapter 1, verse 1. And I'm going to read the first one so you manage the mouse.
Okay.
But I'm going to read it from here because it's much easier for me to see it, okay?
Okay.
So, it says the following, starting in the verse 1. Yes, Karen, I need a little bit more colors, that's true. So it says the following, starting in the verse 1. These are the words which Moshe spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan, in the wilderness, in the desert plain opposite Suf, between Paran and Tofel and Laban and Hatzeroth and Disahav. 11 days journey from Horeb by way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. And it came to be in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, according to all that YaHuWaH had commanded him concerning them. And this, it's a beautiful timing, because, they were almost closing the year.
Mm.
I know it's the first day of the 11, they are still waiting for 2 months, but we know that everything that happened later was in a new beginning.
Mm.
When they crossed the Jordan, if you remember what we were studying and reading in the book of Joshua, they kept Pesach
Mm.
in Gilgal after crossing the Jordan. So they crossed in the first month.
Mm.
And I think from a prophetic point of view, it's so beautiful. Because I do believe, when I was doing this study about the last days, I do believe that the story is going to repeat again. It's a cycle.
Yeah. And it's like that.
And it's totally funded by supported by the scriptures, because we know that he's declaring the end from the beginning. And so everything that happened in the beginning most probably is going to happen at the end. So we need to be prepared for those timings. And maybe what Moshe is doing here almost at the end of the year,
Like a kind of a summary. And,
it's a kind of a summary, it's a kind of reminder,
and to encourage
and
them.
it's a kind of preparation
Yeah.
of what they needed to do. And I do believe that we are living exactly in those days. There's no doubt in my heart that we are the new generation of Israel, the generation that is going to cross the Jordan. So you and me and many others that maybe are not here, we are that generation that is going to cross the Jordan. And you need to write this down in your heart in your thoughts that you are part of that generation that is going to cross the Jordan, that is going to conquer the promised land. And this time it's not going to be just the promised land. It's going to be the land where the kingdom is going to be established by the rightful king, the rightful melech. So maybe everything that we are reading now, starting to read now in the book of Devarim, Moshe reminding the people almost at the end of the year, is talking to us. He was preparing the people, knowing that he was not going to cross the Jordan, that somebody else was going to lead the people, because he himself was asking YaHuWaH to put somebody to take care of the flock. We were reading about this last week or the previous one. That was the heart of the shepherd. So now, with the same heart of the shepherd, he was talking to this generation, the second generation of Israel, the children of Israel, the ones that were going to cross the Jordan, preparing them for the task, preparing their heart. And YaHuWaH is doing the same with us today. Maybe it's going to happen in the same timings. I don't know, maybe something's going to happen in the same timing. Meaning in the first day of the 11th month. That maybe we'll see something, maybe we're going to experience something. Allah, through Yahushua HaMashiach, our shepherd, preparing our heart to cross the Jordan. So it continues saying the following: had commanded him concerning them, after he had stricken Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, who dwelt at Ashtaroth in Edrei, beyond the Jordan, in the land of Moab. Moshe undertook to declare this Torah, saying, and later on we will see in the next portions of the book of Devarim that what Moshe is doing, and somehow is giving us the key here by this verse 5, saying, beyond the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moshe undertook to declare this Torah, saying, what Moshe is doing, he's closing a new covenant. And this is the 5th covenant of 7. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there are 7 covenants in the scriptures that are related to the children of Israel. Somehow is related and impacting somehow the entire people of Israel. It's impacting Israel as a whole. And this one is the 5th one. Why I'm saying is the 5th one, if you remember, there is a previous one, and the first covenant, actually the 4th covenant that was happening in Mount Sinai. But that covenant was with the first generation, the one that were rebellious, the one that the YaHuWaH, and actually it is written here, lift up his hand in an oath, saying that that generation was going to perish in the wilderness. So keep in mind that this generation that Moshe is talking with are those kids that survived. So Moshe is doing and renewing the covenant, this time not in the land of Sinai, he's doing it in the land of Moab. Even actually just before they were going to cross the Jordan. So that's a beautiful picture, because somehow it's connected to what the Brit Hadashah, the new covenant or the renewed covenant, means. And YaHuWaH started to do this 2,000 years ago in order to open the door for us to get in to this covenant, to the renewed covenant. That's why, YaHuWaH is the one that is leading us in order to cross the Jordan. So let's continue reading. It says in the verse 6, YaHuWaH, our Elohim, spoke to us in Horeb, saying, you have dwelt long enough at this mountain. Turn and set out on your way, and go into the mountains of the Amorites, and to all the neighboring places in the desert plain, in the mountains, and in the low country, and in the Negev, and on the sea coast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which YaHuWaH swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, to give to them and their seed after them. And here, in this verse 8, there is an amazing truth. You see it?
The promise to Abraham, Isaac.
There are two truths. Is that he's doing it, everything, because he needs to fulfill his word. He's teaching us in his Torah that about the vows. If we made a vow, we need to walk the talk. We need to do it. So he's acting in the same way. He made a promise. He made an oath. He made a vow with Abraham. He renewed with Yitzchak, and he renewed again with Yaakov, that he was going to give them the land, that they were going to be his people, and he's not gonna rest until he does it. And he has not resting all this time of human history until he's going to complete his vow. And no doubt that he's going to complete it so soon. That's why we need to prepare our hearts, because he has chosen you and us to be part of the promise. But the second truth here is that he's saying, see, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which YaHuWaH swore. Who is the one preparing everything? It's him. He said, I set the land before you. He is the one setting the land. You remember what Yahushua said when he saw the fields and he saw the people, and he told the disciples, look, the fields are ready. We need more workers. Just paraphrasing. That field, conectado en español. That field is the one that YaHuWaH has been preparing. He's sending us in the same way now to conquer and possess the land. Now it's not going to be just the land of Israel. He's coming to possess the entire world.
The creation that he made.
Earth.
Yeah. And how he made it.
So we need to have the same heart, that heart. So it says in the verse 9, and I spoke to you at the time, saying, I am unable to bear you by myself. YaHuWaH, your Elohim, has increased you, and see, you are today as numerous as the stars of the heavens. YaHuWaH, Elohim of your fathers, is going to add to you 1,000 times more than you are, and bless you as he has spoken to you. How do I bear your pressure and your burden and your strife by myself? That's why he was asking, kill me, please, kill me. They were so hard.
Yeah.
People were so hard. YaHuWaH gave him the wisdom in order to move ahead and choose men. Because it says in the verse 13, choose men wise and understanding, and known to your tribes, and let me appoint them as your heads. And you answered me and said, the word which you have spoken to us to do is good. And I took the heads of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, leaders of thousands, and leaders of hundreds, and leaders of fifties, and leaders of tens, and officers for your tribes. And my understanding of this part, that he's not talking about the Shofetim. He's not talking about the judges. Though I have a note here, take a look in Shemot 18. Shemot 18 is talking about the judges, but he's talking about the heads of the tribes.
The army.
The army, the leaders. So, there is a time, there is an order in the kingdom of YaHuWaH. It's not going to be a mess, a balagan in Hebrew. Everything is going to be in an orderly way. And he is setting this structure in order to have the order. But the order is not because of being a control freak, as sometimes we are. It's just to make sure that the people of YaHuWaH is being led in the right way. That we are going to be led in the right way, in the proper way, and understanding the desire and the will of YaHuWaH. So those, I think, are the commanders and the heads of the tribes. Then in the 16, it's talking about the judges. And I commanded your judges, those are the Shofetim, at that time, saying, when hidden between your brothers, judge righteously, between a man and his brother, and or the strangers who is with him. Do not show partiality in right ruling. Hear the small as well as the great. Do not be afraid of anyone's face, for the right ruling belongs to Elohim. And the case which is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I shall hear it. You remember in the video that I just uploaded, I was talking about a system of social justice. Because we know that our justice today, the justice of this world, is not working properly, unfortunately. But YaHuWaH has said, from the very beginning of humanity, of the world, a system of social justice. And it's exactly what we have been reading here. Justice and righteousness that is coming from above. The righteousness that he's going to restore together with his kingdom. That's why, in the video I said that, the scripture is revealing a true system of social justice. This is the righteousness of the word of YaHuWaH, to not show impartiality, is to hear the small and the great, not to be afraid. And we were talking before, is that there are recurring words in this portion.
Yeah.
You remember where they are? What they are?
In obedience, not to be afraid.
Uh-huh.
And, I have those two. You were telling me about trust.
Trust. Do not be afraid, not to fear, and obedience.
Obedience, yeah.
These are being repetitive, and you will see it as we read these 3 chapters, is that those are the theme, the main theme on this portion.
Maybe the word obedience, like that word is not here, but it's implied when he mentioned the example of Caleb and Yahushua, because he said they were following me completely. So that's
that's true.
Total obedience.
Total obedience. So he said in the 18, and I commanded you at that time all the words which you should do. Then we set out from Horeb and went through all that great and awesome wilderness, which you saw on the way to the mountains of the Amorites, as YaHuWaH Eloheinu had commanded us, and we came to Kadesh Barnea. And we are in that great and awesome wilderness today. Sometimes we are in dry places. We see no water, we see no food, we see a big, great, and awesome wilderness without life. Don't you feel like that sometimes? You're surrounded by people around you that their focus is totally in the world, in the system. Yesterday we had the chance to spend some time and share some time with my sister and my brother-in-law. It was a beautiful discussion, actually. We spent a few hours.
Yeah.
Almost
like almost 3 hours?
Yeah, 3 and something hours. And and we were talking exactly about this. Is that the temptation to follow the ways of the world is so big and is increasing by the day. And it's sad because for us that we know the truth, and the truth is somehow write it down in our hearts, we are not going to get into that temptation if we are following YaHuWaH completely, as Caleb. So it's so hard to see and sad to see that the world is going in some direction that is totally opposite, that they are in the wilderness, They are in a desert places without life. And unfortunately, we are in the same place, but we are not partaker of the wilderness.
We are not in the same direction.
And
in the
we-
wilderness. We are in opposite
We
directions.
are crossing the
Yeah,
wilderness. We are walking through the
through
wilderness.
the wilderness.
We are not part of the wilderness.
Yeah, we're not wondering. We have a direction.
Exactly. That, is touching the heart when we see it like that. And, one of the things that we were, I was sharing, because that's the way that I felt it in the moment yesterday, is that the time is coming now, I think. It's not coming tomorrow, it's now the time. Is that we should not keep quiet. We have to speak up. And speaking up, I mean speaking up the truth. And we don't need to speak up the truth in contention, fighting. We need to speak the truth
Not
in
reproving.
compassion
Yeah.
and in love.
Compassion, love.
Is in order to show the people the true ways, to take those that maybe are wandering in the wilderness without any direction, as you said, to join us and to walk with us in order to go through the wilderness and to get out of the wilderness
Yeah.
within a specific direction. And what direction is that? Is to get closer to the Jordan and to cross the Jordan to the promised land. So there are so many things happening in the world, is that unfortunately, we have been talking about this in the past, that we have remained so silent. We have been just as a spectator, watching, seeing everything that's happening in the world. But we cannot be static without doing something. The least we have to do is to sow the seed, to speak up. And we need to do it. And this is something you told me that is somehow in this portion. And it was part of the discussion we had yesterday as well. We have to do it not because of our own understanding and because of our own will. It's not like I'm going to say, okay, I have purpose myself that tomorrow I'm going to go to that place and I'm going to speak to these people and this person or this group of people. I'm going to tell them the truth of the word of YaHuWaH because I decide to do it. It doesn't work like that. This is exactly what Israel did when they were disobedient.
Yeah.
We need to wait in YaHuWaH. We need to ask his guidance. He's going to be the one guiding us on what to do. He's going to be the one speaking through us, through his Ruach. And he's going to take us and guide us to the place, to the right moment, to the right person, or to the right group of people. That was the way that he was doing it and working through all his servants in the past, the way that he was leading the disciples of Mashiach, in order to bring the good news of the kingdom of Abba. So it's not up to us to decide when, how, why, and what. It's up to him to decide. What is up to us is to listen.
Yeah.
To listen to his voice.
Yeah.
What is up to us is as soon as we listen, to be obedient. Annie, just do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now, without delay. And YaHuWaH will work through you. That's the way we have to act. That's the way that YaHuWaH will work through us in these times. He wants to do something with us. We need to stand up and do it. We need to open our ears, but most importantly, we need to open our hearts so he can guide us on his will, so he can guide us on what he wants to do in these times. That's the heart of the servant. That means to serve YaHuWaH in order to prepare the way. Verse 20, it says, "And I said to you, I thought that this is going to be shorter because it's only 3 chapters.
Yeah,
but,
we said that we were going
but,
to have a
yeah.
lot of time.
It doesn't matter. I have time. Though, I need to prepare my luggage, Debbie. But it doesn't matter. This is most important. And I said to you, you have come to the mountains of the Amorites, which YaHuWaH Eloheinu is giving us. See, YaHuWaH your Elohim has set the land before you. He's repeating again. It's YaHuWaH doing and setting the land. So we need to be attentive and doing it. As soon as he's telling us, go. We need to go. We need to do. Go up and possess it. As YaHuWaH Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. Do not fear, nor be discouraged. And he's repeating again what we said is the theme of this portion. Not to fear.
And not be discouraged.
And don't be discouraged.
So we have to endure.
Yes. We don't need to get frustrated. And that's the most difficult thing. And the only way I can tell you, also in my experience, that even though that we are going through difficulties most of the time, if we are seeking His face continually, by praying, fasting, by seeking His presence, He is the one restoring our heart in a mighty way. Every time that we are praising Him, every time that we are talking to Him with our voice, and this is something important, with our voice, He's going to listen to us, and He is the one that is going to fill our heart, and He is the one that is going to remove any frustration or any fear. And He is the one that is going to prepare us to go up and conquer the land, to go up and prepare the soil, to go up and do our job. I'm supposed not to say it, but I'm going to say it because I'm feeling that I have to say it. You remember this parable of Mashiach, the parable of the workers of the vineyard. The master of the vineyard went in the morning and he closed a deal. He said, okay, I need you to work in my vineyard. Please go. I'm going to pay you a denarius. And they close a deal. Give me your hand. We're going to close a deal. Okay? You need to work hard. Okay? But do it good.
Yeah.
I want a perfect vineyard. Okay?
Okay.
So they went. And then the master of the vineyard, the owner, he was walking by and he saw few persons there. He said, what are you doing there? And he closed a deal and he said, go and work in my vineyard. So they closed a deal. You're going to work less hours, but I'm going to pay you the righteous payment. So go and do a good job.
He didn't mention that they were going to work
That's
this
true.
hour.
Yeah.
So he said, go now, and I'm going to pay you, and this is going to be your pay.
And he continued doing it. And actually, in one of the group of the people, he was asking, but what are you doing there, being idle? Come on, go and work. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Almost, he was saying.
Yeah.
And the answer of the people said, nobody wants to hire us. He was so compassionate in this story. He said, okay, go and work in my vineyard. And he closed a deal.
I'm going to pay you one.
Okay, I'm going to pay you the right payment. Why I'm bringing this up? We are like those workers. And it's Yahushua HaMashiach, the one telling us that we need to go and work in His vineyard. He is the one that even maybe that we don't know how to work. He is the one that He's seeing it. And maybe now nobody wants to hire us. He's coming to us and saying, I don't care if you don't know. Go and work. You will learn. But the only point is that we need to be obedient. And there is something that is not written there. But in my heart, I feel that the parable somehow include this understanding. What is it? They were the workers. The vineyard was of the master. They needed to work, and they were tilling the ground. To till the ground, what do you need? Just in
A
generic.
tool.
What do you need?
Tool.
You need tools, not only one. You need
Yeah. Different kind.
different kind of tools. Who do you think is the one that provided those tools for those workers?
The owner. The owner.
The owner of the vineyard. So this is not written in the parable, but I have no doubt in my heart that is part of the understanding that he is choosing the workers and sending them to work in his vineyard. Even maybe that they don't know how to work, he's sending them anyways. And he is the one providing the tools so the workers are well prepared in order to fulfill their job. So in these times, understanding that we are also those workers, YaHuWaH is the one, through the Ruach of Elohim, giving us the tools, giving us the understanding on how to do our job. The only thing we need to be open for him to teach us.
And you know that something is really nice, that when you have somebody new who arrives to a place and everybody's working, usually that person, the new one, is going to look to the next person who is working there. And they are going to
That's beautiful.
to show them how to work, how to do something. So I think that is our task too.
You know how that's called?
Induction.
No, it's not induction. It has another word.
Yeah, like los Talmidim, they were doing.
No, in the secular world. This is being called on-the-job training.
Yeah, on the job training. Yeah, that's right.
On-the-job training.
Yeah.
You better. The best way to learn is by doing.
Yeah.
By doing and by imitating what the others are doing.
Yeah.
So that's why I completely agree with you. He was sending the people that maybe didn't know how to work because he knew that they were going to go through an on-the-job training, seeing what the others were doing, imitating, only if their hearts were right and they were not lazy. They were answering the calling and doing. So he's calling us for an on-the-job training. I was keeping that word for the trip, but I'm gonna explain maybe when we were having the meeting what I'm meaning by that. So let's continue. 22.
Okay.
And all of you came near to me and said, this is fear, doubt, living by sight and not by faith. Let us send men before us, and let them search out the land for us, and bring back word to us of the way by which we should go up, and of the cities into which we would come. And the matter was good in my eyes. So I took 12 of your men, 1 man from each tribe. And they turned and went up into the mountains and came to the Wadi Eshkol and spied it out. And they took some of the fruit of the land in their hands and brought it down to us. And they brought back word to us, saying, the land which YaHuWaH, our Elohim, is giving us is good. We know that only 2 of them said that. But you would not go up and rebelled against the mouth of YaHuWaH, your Elohim, and grumbled in your tents, and said, and in the way that is saying it here is so strong, because they said, because YaHuWaH was hating us. They were seeing it in a very opposite way. YaHuWaH was loving them. He was taking them from slavery, from Egypt, and he was saying to them, I'm going to give you the promise that I made with Abraham. your forefathers. I'm going to give you a land flowing with milk and honey. And they were so stiff-necked that they were seeing it in the different way. That YaHuWaH is hating us so much. How many people think in the same way today in the world? They hate when they talk about God. They don't want to listen about that. They see it as a horrible figure.
A dictator, I don't know.
Some people today, they see it as a figure of speech. Some people, they say, no, this is a fairy tale. Say, no, it's a fear because the people and the human being, they were always in the need because of their emotional and psychological needs to put a superpower in order to live their lives. They don't want to realize that means to hate by not acknowledging the existence of the creator of the heavens and the earth is somehow hating. And we need to hate them back? No, we need to act in compassion.
Because they don't see.
Because they're blind. And this is part of our duty, is to try to go and speak. Our duty and our responsibility is not to open their eyes. We are not going to be the one opening the eyes and touching the heart. We are just the vessel, the instrument that YaHuWaH is going to use in order to make the music in the string instrument. But he is going to be the one touching the heart through the Ruach. But how they are going to be touched if nobody is talking to them? They need to hear. They need to hear. And that's our duty, is to talk so they can hear. That's communication. And YaHuWaH will be present and he will do his part. And that's what he does is the most important part. So it says, because YaHuWaH was hating us, he has brought us out of the land of Mizraim to give us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. Where are we going to? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, the people are greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to the heavens. And we saw the sons of Anakim there too. We are so fearful. We're going to die. Then I said to you, have no dread or fear of them. Again, not to fear the message. We need to trust in YaHuWaH. He is the one doing everything for us. If we trust in him, he is the one preparing the land. And he is the one fighting the battle for us. And it says, have no dread or fear of them. YaHuWaH, your Elohim, who is going before you.
Wow.
He does fight for you, according to all he did for you in Mizraim before your eyes. Remember what he has done for you. And this word is so powerful because we tend to forget. And we need to be honest with us. We tend to forget what YaHuWaH has been doing for us through our lifetime. So what Moshe, by the working of the Ruach HaKodesh, is telling the people and is teaching and telling us today as well, is that when we are going through these times of difficulties, when we are fearful, when we are discouraged, what we need to do? We need to remember. We need to remember what YaHuWaH has been doing for you. You need to close your eyes. You need to see his face. And remember not the bad things. Remember the good things that YaHuWaH has bring into your life. From the tiny things that sometimes are the most important one, to the big things. And as soon as you remember your fear is going to go away. Your frustration is going to go away because you will remember what YaHuWaH has done for you. And He was with you at that time in a powerful and mighty way. He is going to repeat it again when you need it, when you are beside Him and when you are obedient to Him. He is the one that is going to restore that strength, that emunah, that faith. You know, these are the kind of techniques that the scriptures is teaching us. How to go away and go out from the difficulties is, I can tell you, having going through difficulties and I'm be somehow very stubborn, believe it or not. Don't laugh. Is that you know, when the difficulties are around you and keeping all your attention, it's so difficult to go away from that tornado of thoughts. You know, today Abba showed me a way to get out of those situations in a beautiful way. I wrote this down in a paper. Is we need to do exactly what I said at the beginning, is that when we're in that type of situations, that we are being stubborn, we need to do our efforts to calm down, to close our eyes, even that is difficult, even though when we don't want to do it, because sometimes we don't want to do it because we are so trapped in the situation and we are so angry and stubborn that we don't want to even to pray. We need to do even more effort to close our eyes, and what we need to do is exactly to apply this technique. You know, it's weird to use that word because it's not usual when we talk about the scripture, but it's a technique. It's a tool, it's a process in order to put something in practice.
And to have a result.
And to have a result. And this exactly is a technique. He's telling us exactly what to do in those moments. Close our eyes and remember, use our memory. Direct our thoughts in the right direction. And YaHuWaH will help us. Not help us, honey. Help us. And the 31, and in the wilderness, where you saw how YaHuWaH, your Elohim, has borne you as a man bears his son. And it's so beautiful because somehow it's depicting the love, describing the love of YaHuWaH. He's carrying you in his shoulder as a child. In all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in this matter, you are putting no trust in YaHuWaH, your Elohim. Trust. Trusting or not trusting. We need to choose if we are going to trust or not. And especially in the times of difficulties is when we need to decide. "33, who is going before you," and this is beautiful. "Yet in this matter you are putting no trust in YaHuWaH, your Elohim, who is going before you in the way to seek out a place for you to pitch your tents, to show you the way you should go, in fire by night and in a cloud by day." Doesn't remind you something? Everyone? Who said something similar?
When they were about? Because-
Yahushua, when he was talking to his disciple, I'm going to this place and you cannot go with
about
me.
that, yeah. But I'm
going there to prepare a place for
that
you.
Yeah, I was talking
So
about the other part.
you can be with me
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah. Mm.
And it's exactly the same. We see it's not written in the same way, but what Yahushua was saying was exactly the same.
Mm.
I am the one, I am the way, I am the one leading the way, and I'm going to prepare a place for you so you can go and be with me.
Yeah. The only difference that the other one was a house, the house of his father, and this one are tents. So
Yes,
yeah.
that's true. And YaHuWaH heard the voice of your words and was wroth and took an oath, saying, not one of these men, and this is important, he took an oath, he made a vow.
Yeah.
That's why he was going to fulfill it. What was the vow about? Not one of these men of this evil generation shall see that good land of which I swore to give to your fathers, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him and his children I give the land on which he walked, because he followed YaHuWaH completely. That should be our heart. We need to follow him completely. That means trusting him, be obedient to him, doing his work, being a servant. And YaHuWaH was enraged with me for your sakes, saying, you do not go in there either. Yahushua ben Nun, who stands before you, he shall go in there. Strengthen him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit. Yahushua ben Nun, now Yahushua HaMashiach, is the one that is going to cause this generation of Israel to inherit the land. But we need to be as Caleb. We need to follow YaHuWaH completely. And your little ones and your children, who you say are for a prey, who today have no knowledge of good and evil, they are going in there. And to them I give it, and they are to possess it. But you, turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. Then you answered and said to me, we have sinned against YaHuWaH. We ourselves are going up. It's making decisions by ourselves on how to serve YaHuWaH. Here is the example. Instead of waiting for him to guide us. We ourselves are going up, and we shall fight as YaHuWaH Eloheinu commanded us. And when each one of you had girded on his battle gear, they have weapons. They receive the tools. We need those weapons and those tools too. You were ready to go up into the mountain. And YaHuWaH said to me, say to them, do not go up nor fight, for I am not in your midst. Wow.
That happens when we do something and he is not with us.
I love you. Just give me a second.
¿Lo escribió?
Just give me a second. I need to take some note. Okay. So, thank you. So, lest you be smitten before your enemies. So I spoke to you, but you would not listen. Being rebellious people till the end, and rebelled against the mouth of YaHuWaH and acted proudly, and went up into the mountain. Then the Amorites who dwelt in that mountain came out against you and chased you as beasts do, and drove you back from Seir to Hormah. And you returned and wept before YaHuWaH, but YaHuWaH would not listen to your voice nor give ear to you. Sad. YaHuWaH not listening to disobedient people. So you dwelled in Kadesh many days, according to the days that you dwelt. spoke too much. It took a lot of time in the first just one chapter.
Yeah, and I
Maybe.
just wanted just to add only
Go ahead. Add
only
anything you want.
only
And
the
everything you want.
verse 39, and it says, and your little ones and your children who you say are for a prey, who today have no knowledge of good and evil, they are going in there, and to them I give it, and they are to possess it.
We need to be like children.
We need to be like children. And the nice thing it says,
What YaHuWaH said, the children will inherit the kingdom.
yeah, and they have no knowledge of good and evil. That was the condition that Adam
pure
and
heart.
Hawa they were having before they were kicked out
Yeah.
from the
That's beautiful.
yeah, that connection.
Mm.
We have to return to that point.
You're speaking beautifully. I think you need to do the chapter 2 and 3. I got a little bit exhausted just reading the chapter 1 and taking more than an hour on doing it.
Now we have a lot of names.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Your time.
Okay. Then we turned and set out in the wilderness, the way of the Sea of Reeds, as YaHuWaH spoke to me, and we went round Mount Seir many days. And YaHuWaH spoke to me, saying, you have gone around this mountain long enough to turn not northward, and command the people, saying, you are about to pass over into the border of your brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir, and they are afraid of you. So be on your guard. So he knew that maybe they were going to have a reaction. So that's why. Do not strive with them, for I do not give you any of their land. No, not so much as one footstep, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as a possession. What food you buy from them with silver you shall eat, and also what water you buy from them with silver you shall drink. For YaHuWaH your Elohim has blessed you in all the work of your hand. So that means that they have the ways, the economic resource to do it.
Yeah.
He has known your wandering through this great wilderness. These 40 years YaHuWaH your Elohim has been with you. You have not lacked any matter.
Wow.
And when we pass beyond our brothers, the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir, away from the way of the desert plain, away from Eilat and Etzion Geber, we turn and pass over by way of the wilderness of Moab. And YaHuWaH said to me, do not distress Moab, nor stir yourself up against them in battle, for I do not give you any of their land as a possession, because I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as a possession. The Emites had dwelt there formerly, a people as great and numerous, as tall as the Anakim. They were also reckoned as Rephaites, like the Anakim, but the Moabites called them Emites.
And those are the ones that are being prophesied that they are going to come back from the tombs. In Yeshayahu, the Rephaim.
The Rephaim. And the Horites formerly dwelt in Seir, but the descendants of Esau dispossessed them and destroyed them from before them, and dwell in their place, as Israel did to the land of their possession, which YaHuWaH gave them. So he was telling them that other people already did the same that they were going to do, dispossess some people. Now rise up and pass over the Wadi Sered. So we pass over the Wadi Sered. And the time we took to come from Kadesh Barnea until we passed over the Wadi Sered was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of battle was consumed from the midst of the camp.
And that's important
YaHuWaH,
because it's a... Sorry.
Yeah.
As YaHuWaH,
As YaHuWaH had sworn to them.
it's a confirmation of what we discussed when we read this on the previous book. That the oath was from the generation of battle, the army,
Yeah.
from the 20 years old and above.
Yeah.
So he's saying it clearly.
It took 38 years.
And then, and sorry, it's important as well because what does it mean to be in the army? They are the ones that are fighting. They are the ones that are in service.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. So being rebels
Mm.
when we are servants.
Mm.
So we need to be the opposite.
Mm. And also the hands of YaHuWaH was against them, to destroy them from the midst of the camp until they were consumed. And it came to be, when all the men of battle had finally perished from among the people, that YaHuWaH spoke to me, saying, This day you are to pass over at Ar, the boundary of Moab. And when you come near the children of Ammon, do not distress them, nor stir yourself up against them. For I do not give you any of the land of the children of Ammon as a possession, because I have given it to the descendants of Lot as a possession. That was also reckoned as a land of Rephaites. Rephaites formerly dwelt there, but the Ammonites called them Samsumim, a people as great and numerous and tall as the Anakim. But YaHuWaH destroyed them before them, and they dispossessed them and dwell in their place, as he had done to the descendants of Esau, who dwell in Seir. When he destroyed the Horites from before them, they dispossessed them and dwell in their place, even to this day. And the Awim, who dwell in villages as far as Asa, the Captorim, who came from Captor, destroyed them and dwell in their place. Arise, set out, and pass over the Wadi Arnon. See, I have given into your hand Sihon, the Amorite. And Sihon means warrior. That's the meaning of that name.
Okay.
Sovereign of Heshbon and his land. So maybe we're not going to fight anymore, because that spirit of warrior is going to be destroyed at one point. At least.
Yahushua is coming to destroy his enemies.
Yeah. And maybe that spirit that sometimes we have to contend. Usually, well,
Yeah.
at least I'm talking by
Actually.
myself.
Yeah, you need to.
I need to destroy that.
All of us.
And the Amorite, sovereign of Heshbon and his land, begin to possess it and stir up yourself against him in battle. This day I began to put the dread of fear of you upon the peoples under all the heavens, who, when they hear the report of you, shall tremble and shake because of you. Wow.
So why we need to fear? Why?
What?
We don't need to fear. So why we should be afraid if he is the one putting the
Doing
what he said? What was the one you read?
this one.
Last one.
This day I began to put the dread.
He's putting the dread and fear of you upon the people. So they are going to be afraid of us. You know how this is a normal reaction sometimes. When people are afraid of something, they attack.
Yeah, it's kind of the natural reaction. Yeah.
It's to defend themselves. But we need to understand that they are doing it sometimes because they are afraid. And if they're acting in this way, why we're going to be afraid of them? We need to understand that they're afraid, and if they're afraid of us, the people of YaHuWaH, because YaHuWaH is putting the fear in their hearts, and we know that we have a one that is mightier than them, that he is the one fighting the battle.
And then I sent messenger from the wilderness of Kedemoth to Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, Let me pass over through your land on the highway. I shall go on the highway and turn neither to the right nor to the left. What food you sell me for silver I shall eat, and what water you give me for silver I shall drink. Only let me pass over on foot. And the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir, and the Moabites who dwell in Ar, did for me, until I pass over the Jordan to the land YaHuWaH or Elohim is giving us. But Sihon, and I think that's why YaHuWaH put that fear on the people, because what is going to happen here? But Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, would not let us pass over, for YaHuWaH your Elohim hardened his spirit and strengthened his heart to give him into your hand, as it is this day. It's like causing the battle at the end. It's like at the end they're going to be destroyed, but they were initiating like the battle. And YaHuWaH said to me, See, I have begun to give Sihon and his land over to you. Begin to possess in order to possess his land. And Sihon and all his people came out against us to fight at Yahat. And YaHuWah our Elohim gave him over to us. So we struck him and his sons and all his people. And we took all his cities at that time. And we put the men, women, and little ones of every city under the ban. We left none remaining. Only the livestock we took as plunder for ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we captured. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and the city that is by the Wadi, as far as Gilad, there was not one city too high for us. YaHuWaH our Elohim gave all to us. Only you did not go near the land of the children of Ammon, anywhere along the Wadi Yabok, or to the cities of the mountains, or anywhere, as YaHuWaH our Elohim commanded us.
It's a beautiful thing.
So,
As we go through the wilderness, we'll have battles,
Yeah.
we'll have difficulties, we will have persecution.
and we have to hear, because YaHuWaH sometimes is going to say, this is not your battle. You don't have to touch them. You have to continue. But there are going to be some times that he's going to say, now you attack, now you do some action.
Yeah.
But we have to be very
We
attentive
need to hear and
to hear
obey.
him and obey.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Can you read the next one?
Yeah, until it's a
22.
turn. Okay. Then we turned and went up the way of Bashan and Og, and this means long-necked. So it means that it's a kind of person who is like, I don't know how to describe it, proud maybe. Yeah. Sovereign of Bashan
Full of pride.
came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at the Edrei. And YaHuWaH said to me, do not fear him, for I have given him and all his people and his land into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwell at Heshbon. So YaHuWaH our Elohim also gave into our hands Og, sovereign of Bashan, with all his people, and we struck him until he had no survivors remaining. And we captured all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we did not take from them. 60 cities, all the district of Argob, the reign of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fenced with high walls, gates, and bars, besides a great many unwalled towns. And we put them under the ban, as we did to Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, putting the men, the women, and the children of every city under the ban.
And we know the reason for that. They were
Because
descendants of them, right?
Yeah, so they need to be
Connection with the
destroyed.
Nephilim.
They need to be destroyed. But all the livestock and the spoil of the cities we took as booty for ourselves. And at that time, let me move this. And at that time we took the land from the hand of the two sovereigns of the Amorites, that was beyond the Jordan, from the Wadi Arnon to Mount Hermon. Sidonians call Hermon Sirion, and the Amorites call it Senir. All the cities of the plain, all Gilad, and all Bashan, as far as Salcah and Edrei, cities of this reign of Og in Bashan. For only Og, sovereign of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaites.
You know what the location? You remember?
Where we were.
Yeah, but the
Mount Hermon.
The geography, not the Mount Hermon, the land of Ilan, Bashan, and so on.
Hmm?
You don't remember?
No.
It's big mountains.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
plain
yeah,
and
you're
the
right.
garden.
You're right.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they have there they receive the snow. And from there comes the
No, that's Hermon.
That's Hermon. Okay. I'm confused. And what it was? Okay. For only Og, sovereign of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaites. See, his bedstead was an iron bedstead. It is not in Rabbah of the children of Ammon. 9 cubits it is length, and 4 cubits is wide, according to the cubit of a man. Very big that. And this land which we possess at that time from Aroer, which is by the Wadi Arnon, and half the mountains of Gilad and its cities, I gave to the Reubenites and the Gadites. And the rest of Gilad and all Bashan, the reign of Og, I gave to the half tribe of Manasseh. All the district of Argob, with all Bashan, called the land of the Rephaites. Yair, son of Manasseh, had taken all the district of Argob as far as the border of the Jeshurites and the Mahathites, and called them after his own name, the Bashan of Hawot Yair, to this day. And to Mahir I gave Gilad, and to the Reubenites and the Gadites I gave from Gilad as far as the Wadi Arnon, the middle of the Wadi as the border, as far as the Wadi Yabok, the border of the children of Ammon, and the desert plain with the Jordan as the border, from Kinneret, as far as the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, below the slopes of Pisgah on the east. And I commanded you at that time, saying, YaHuWaH your Elohim has given you this land to possess. All your sons of might pass over armed before your brothers, the children of Israel, but let your wives and your little ones and your livestock. I know that you have much livestock. Stay in your cities which I have given you, until YaHuWaH has given rest to your brothers as to you.
That's the promise we were reading a few weeks ago with the
That they
the
were
tribe of
doing,
Reuben,
that they
Menashe,
were going
and-
to be there
Mhm.
until everybody has inherited. And they also possess the land which YaHuWaH your Elohim is giving them beyond the Jordan. Then you shall return each man to his possession, which I have given you. And I commanded Yahushua at that time, saying, your eyes have seen all that YaHuWaH your Elohim has done to these two sovereigns. YaHuWaH,
Wow, what a promise.
yeah, does the same to all the reigns which you are passing over. Do not fear them, for YaHuWaH your Elohim himself fights for you. Beautiful.
Remember,
Beautiful.
again, remember what you have seen
Mm.
YaHuWaH doing by giving you these cities, by destroying your enemies. He will do exactly the same in the future. Remember, look back. Remember what YaHuWaH has been doing for you. He will repeat it again if you seek him with all your heart. I saw a comment from Yaya that she was a kind of lost on the places. Let me see if I can do something. Just give me a second. Let's see if this is going to work.
Yeah, and I have the problem that I always see the maps on the upside down, so I'm not
Oh,
good at
really?
explaining yet.
Oh, that's bad. Let's see. Perfect. So, I can do this. There you have. So, these are the map. Okay. So, this is the land of Israel. And what he was talking about, this is the Sea of Arabah. This is being known as Arabah. This is the Mediterranean. This is the Jordan over here that you cannot see it clearly, but there you have, is the Jordan going for here, and it's coming from the north. The north is the way up. I'm sorry. And it's coming from, what it is? It's coming from here,
from Galilee,
from the Sea of Galilee, that is the Kinneret. And the Jordan is coming from, let me see if I can find it. Is this one? From the Mount Hermon that is over here.
Yeah, from
And it's coming a lot of water from here.
Because usually that mountains have snow, and then they are flowing down.
That's correct. That's correct. So it's talking that, it was mentioning from the Mount Hermon that is coming from here, all these places, because, here, this side, there is a, in this part, these are the high of Golan. Those are mountains, or big mountains.
Yeah.
That is a chain, mountain chain going here. And the place that they were talking, beyond the Jordan here, this plain from the Jordan, and these are the mountains. It is believed that the Pisgah was over here. So when you see it going in this direction, and unfortunately, I think I cannot do it. Let's see if I have some street view. I don't know if I have a street view here. Street view. So
That's the desert.
that's the desert. And over there, those are the mountains of the Pisgah. How I close this one? I forgot. Let me go here. So I just want to show you something. I think it's going to be much easier to see it. Let's go here. Street view. There you have. So in this direction, you're going to the Dead Sea. And those over there are the mountains. The ones that are being related now in the scripture, saying that the Pisgah, those are the mountains. Behind those mountains is Jordan, the country Jordan in these times.
Yeah.
And it's most probably is the place that they were fighting Ammon. And maybe to the north is the where they were fighting with the Sihon and Og. To the other direction is Jerusalem. This is the desert, the wilderness. Qumran is in that direction.
Where the
over
scriptures were found.
Yeah, the Dead Sea Scrolls. And going in that direction is when you're going up
And you
to Jerusalem.
And the change that you have from desert to everything green is so, I don't know, sudden, and that it's really beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those were not the Golan Heights. So let me go again. Here,
Those were Pisgah.
Those are the Pisgah. The Golan Heights are the ones seen by the Sea of Galilee. Let me put me here in Tiberias. There you have. Oh, that mountain is beautiful. Is the Arvel. The view of the Sea of Galilee from there is just really beautiful. Go here. It's not showing me. Let me put myself there. Okay. So there is the Sea of Galilee. Let me
No,
see
but you're not showing.
I'm not showing. Thank you. No. You have not missed anything.
Yeah.
Because the other one wasn't a good view. So let me show you. So this is the Sea of Galilee. And those over there are the Golan Heights. So this is the north. This is the Sea of Galilee, and that's going to the south to the Dead Sea. And in this direction over here, to that direction is Mount Hermon. Okay? Just
Tourism.
Geography class.
Yeah,
Okay,
tourism,
geography and
tourism
tourist and
mission.
virtual tour,
Yeah.
virtual
Yeah.
tour, and
Virtual tour. Yeah.
geography
Someday,
class.
when we are going to be there, it's going to be very familiar for all of
Yes,
us.
and we can take you a tour maybe when
Yeah.
we are going back to Jerusalem in the second great Exodus.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
show you
Yeah.
some places.
Yeah, he has a lot of knowledge of the place, so
Uh-huh.
that's good.
And good. So I have nothing else to share. I think
But it
it's a
was
beautiful
beautiful.
starting point of the book of Devarim, especially when we're talking about not removing fear, trusting in YaHuWaH, following Him, that He is the one.
And he's before us.
Uh-huh.
He's the one fighting our battles.
Exactly.
So we just have to be back in
And-
seeing him, how he does everything.
And the one thing is that the technique
Mm.
that we just talked about is to remove discouragement and frustration, is to close the eyes and remember what YaHuWaH has done for us.
Yeah, and to focus on the beautiful things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to do it,
with-
Debbie
yeah.
and Dennis.
It would be
Yeah,
it was
actually,
part of our dreams.
It
some
was part
years
of our
ago.
dreams, yeah. I wanted
Remember? We wanted
to
to
resign my
make it
job and to become a tour
a
guide in
tourist,
Israel.
Yeah.
So we're going to spend just 2-3 minutes to,
In case you have any
if
questions.
you have questions, comment. We are just taking a look in the chat. So just let us know if you have any prayer requests. It's the time you to put it down in the chat as well. And let us know if you have any comment or questions. We're just taking a look in the chat. Let's go is saying Karen, and she loves the virtual tours. Okay, we will try to do it more often, especially when we're talking about locations and so on in the scriptures. We can use these tools of the maps. Yarash, I listened to Stephen Pigeon mentioning the possibility that the true land of Israel is not where we've been told it is, that is somewhere else. I have been listening about these theories, Yarash, especially this movement of the Hebrew Israelites that they're saying that it's in Africa. I don't know. We need to be careful, and we need to study
and
things
pray
out and
about
pray.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to let the Ruach to reveal the truth in our hearts. I can tell you, at least in my experience, without being with people, just being in the Sea of Galilee,
Yeah.
it's something
you can describe.
You feel something.
Yeah.
So, but that's our experience. What else? We need to be obedient and trust Him wholeheartedly. That's true, Heidi. Amen. Yes, sister will need much refining and washing, sister. That's true, Camila. Continue prayers for restore health in our home.
Yeah.
We will continue praying for you.
Yeah. That
DDK, yeah.
Kaylee's being recovered as soon as possible.
Exactly. Love you, Kelly. Thank you, Shirion. They have been saying this for many years now, not only Dr. Pigeon. That's true, Annie. Get packing, Juan Carlos. Yes, I will do it. I have to do another stuff, but in between today and tomorrow, I need to be ready.
Yeah.
Because my week from Monday and Wednesday is going to be a bit crazy, so I'm going to be ready this weekend.
So now you're going to be packing the spiritual stuff, and then
I need to finish the study, actually.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing, like always, to be with all of you here. Thank you, Pam, for your prayers. And thank you, Daniel. Yes, it was beautiful to be with all of you here. So as we always do, we will finish with a song. We love you all. It's so beautiful to be with you. We are the
family.
Yes, it's family.
And feeling that love from YaHuWaH, and among all the family is something beautiful.
Yeah, we are so eagerly excited and waiting for the time to see you all and to have the time to hug you and to talk in person, to see you to the eyes, and to spend time together. I know that we'll do it in this life or in the coming one, in the
Yeah.
coming world.
Yeah.
But we are excited that at least he's opening the door to meet some of you, and we are just waiting for the time to be with some of you together.
Yeah.
You know that YaHuWaH is producing this feeling in our hearts, that is only love. And the same love that we feel here by
Yeah.
being virtually
Imagine how it
being
feels.
together is
Yeah.
something that we cannot describe.
This is only like a sample of what is
Absolutely.
coming from the being under the love of our
Mhm.
beautiful.
Good. So thank you so much.
Mm.
And it's been a beautiful time together. We'll see you next week. And actually next Shabbat,
Next Shabbat we are going to be.
we are going to try.
Yeah.
We're going to try in the same way we
We
did it
did.
with Annie when
Yeah.
we were in the previous trip. But we will going to try to keep the portion next week. We are going to be in the States
Yeah.
in the upcoming 2 Shabbats.
Yeah. We're
So
going to try to
we were going to
continue
try to
do it
continue
somehow.
because we have the need, but not only the need, is the joy and we feel the duty that we need to keep this going. And by the way, another prayer request,
You have a lot of prayer requests.
I have to speak it out, is that we have decided time ago already, is that we are not going to continue the cycle.
Oh.
And what does it mean is it doesn't mean at all that we are going to stop having this gathering. Not at all. It means that we are not going to continue resetting the cycle and to go
To
back
start
after
it.
we complete the Devarim to go back to Bereshit. We're not going to do that. So what's the prayer request? Is that they pray for us to have discernment on what's going to be the next book. Because we will do other books in the scripture.
We
We're not
want
going
to
reset.
continue.
And we will continue. So pray for that. So for us to have discernment of what is the book we have to continue later on. We have some ideas, thoughts, but we don't want to make a decision by our own understanding. We want Allah to guide us on what is the book, the next book we need to continue study. And we need to have that answer soon. So pray
Yeah.
without ceasing. Okay? Because there's no portion anywhere that I know of the other books.
Yeah.
When I was doing if you remember, Shmuel, Judges, and Joshua, we were doing the portions by ourselves. We were reading and deciding, okay, this is going to be this portion from this chapter to this chapter, and we were defining by the guidance of what was the title of the portion. So we need to do that again, and it requires some time. So pray fast. So we will have the discernment as soon as possible. So in order to start working on this,
I think we
on this
should
book.
continue. I don't know. From my, I have feel that, and that we have to finish with Asono Revelations.
Yeah.
So maybe when we are going to be in Revelation, maybe it's going to be something.
Mira tú. So I have been asking for a lot of prayers. So I'm counting on you, counting on all of you. So let's finish with a song. YaHuWaH be with you all.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We love you.
Continue enjoying your Shabbat. Have a wonderful week. See you next time. Bye bye.
Oh, say shalom, bimoma. Oh, say shalom, bimoma. Oh, say shalom, bimoma. Oh, say shalom, bimoma.
רק אנשים, שנייה. איך נשמעים הגברים רגע?